What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dirty Shore Underground. Tonight's special guest, we have Matt Payday.
Thanks, bro.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Russell, the Love Muscle. We have Harry back again, who has a very new vape that we have all tried. It's very lovely.
Not me. I don't smoke.
Well, you don't have to smoke to do a vape. That's what.
I don't vape either.
Well, then it sucks to you. Anyway.
And because I stepped on a match here too, so. Hey man. As always, we are live streaming on YouTube. Make sure that you follow Dirty Shore UG on Twitter and Dirty Shore UG on Facebook. The links will always go out when we are live streaming, so you can join the conversation. Make sure you comment so you can become part of the podcast while we're here. Make
Unless
sure you
you're
check
an asshole and then you're not allowed.
No, assholes are allowed to. We let you come here. So, go to DirtyShoreUnderground.com.
First off, I let you come here.
Go to DirtyShoreUnderground.com for new episodes of the podcast every Thursday. And then bonus episodes whenever we feel like it. So today is our Halloween episode. We're doing it on very short notice, but we're celebrating Halloween, which is coming up on Saturday the 31st. If you're going to be out and about on Saturday, make sure you download the Uber app. Get.uber.com. Get the app. Don't worry about driving. Don't let the scariest part of your Halloween celebration be getting to and from the bar. The police are going to be out. We know that. It's going to be huge amounts of trouble. Instead, download the app. Get a ride to and from the bar. If you're here on the Midshore, Matt and I will both be out this weekend, as well as about 6 or 7 other drivers. There should not be any problem getting a ride. And when you're done at the end of the night, the last thing you have to want to worry about is how you're going to get home. It's just that easy. Open up the app.
Or in Rob's case, who you're going home with.
That's never a problem either. So,
and then you get pulled over. You can talk.
Well,
you can get Rob as...
I can tell you from experience, you would rather pay me $20 to get home in an Uber rather than $3,000 at a minimum for a DUI. So go to Uber.com, and if you're thinking about driving, or if there's no drivers out and you want to ride, shoot an email to uberwithrob, UberWithRob @gmail.com, or uberwithmatt, MATT, @gmail.com, and we can get rides out for you, and or give you an invitation to come and join us in driving. So
Rob will give you a special happy ending. He'll keep the meter running, though.
This ain't your kind of car service. This is my car service. It's totally different.
I'm afraid of her.
Don't be scared of her. It's Halloween. She wears her mask all year long. So, speaking of Halloween.
Just like you?
We just got done watching one of my favorite scary movies. It's not really a Halloween movie because I think it came out in the summertime. And it's not really Halloween themed, but Scream, the original Wes Craven Scream, we just finished watching, which I love that movie, mostly because it exists in a universe where there are also scary movies. Or also slasher movies, really.
And when you watch it, it feels like one of those movies that it could be something that was real. Back in '97, predating
all the other stuff.
All the
parody movies.
The tech and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's something that could have been real. It's something if you're sitting there watching it, and you're just like, yeah, I can see somebody doing some shit like this. And instantly you would expect the nerd who loved horror movies.
Right.
Like...
played by Jamie Kennedy. I don't feel like we need to give a spoiler alert, because if you haven't seen Scream since '97, fuck yourself, honestly. I mean, what are you doing with your life?
I didn't see it, and I didn't fuck myself either, so...
No, but you screamed like a little bitch.
That is true.
Because you were trying to scare me.
Russ did a lot of screaming.
Really?
Has anybody else seen it?
I was trying to hold in a fart.
Anybody else seen it for the first time today? Have you guys seen Scream before?
Yeah, long time ago.
Long time ago when it originally came out.
Fuck you all!
He's the youngest person here.
Yeah.
No, my sister is.
He's the youngest person on the podcast.
It came out around the same time as I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think that was the two studios put out movies that are similar at the same time. But the I Know What You Did Last Summer with what's that girl's name?
It was a black chick.
Jennifer
Louisa. No?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
You're talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It was missing that aspect of that horror movies existed in the universe. Everybody was like, we don't know what we're going to do. There's a universe that exists. There are other movies, and these people are making fun of movies that exist in the real world. So and not really making fun of, but
And you even have the scene where he said that horror movies just made him more creative.
Right. They don't create serial killers, they just make them more creative.
Yep.
Speaking of serial killers, excuse me.
See the guy in Texas?
What's that?
The guy in Texas that was eating that kid?
No, what?
He brought him into a haunted house and started eating him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You didn't see that shit?
No.
I know that Glenn is dead on the blimp in Pennsylvania right now.
Glenn's not dead.
He's dead on the blimp.
Hashtag
He is
Glenn's
dead
not dead.
on the blimp.
But speaking of serial killers, if you want a really great serial killer piece of fiction, well, you should check out his Faux, F-A-U-X, available on Amazon, or go to robertandchief.com and you can find links to it.
Because Rob is a douchey man whore.
Because I'm a douchey man.
Why did I went looking for the fucking banner and it's over there in the comments.
This podcast is already getting off the rails. So I want to talk a little bit about today. It's a weird Halloween year because what I guess you could say the king of scary movies, the king of Halloween, is no longer with us this year.
Yeah.
And it was a little sad to see, directed by Wes Craven up at the end of Scream, and knowing that. We have, for those of you who are watching the live stream, we have a nice selection of Halloween movies here in front of the computer. Make sure you go to youtube.com/c/DirtyShoreUG-OTA.
Pretty
so
sure
you can
Hatchet's
watch.
just a bullshit B movie.
They're all
It's a B
horror
movie,
movies.
but it's a good movie.
Right.
He's also the guy that plays Victor Crowley, which is the killer in Hatchet, that played Jason more times than anybody else in the Friday the 13th movies.
Okay.
So
I don't think there's anybody who can challenge him as the king of horror, or it's slasher movies, depending on what you want to call horror. But the king of slasher movies. So, what's your favorite Wes Craven movie?
I have to say Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Okay, why?
It was all around enjoyable. The gore. I've always been big with the gore. That's why I like the slasher scene. I don't know. I gotta see blood and guts for me to really enjoy it. Like, I'll try to watch like a Paranormal Activity or something like that. And
Right.
So I'm just like, when something will happen.
Which I want to see the new one.
Which, again, nothing will happen.
And I also want to see.
Nobody will get their
Insidious
intestines
3.
ripped out.
See, but I gotta say, there's something, not to use a different.
I want to see the
something
Goosebumps
insidious.
movie.
There's something insidious about the movies where you don't see the slasher, where when you talk about putting yourself in that position like it could really happen, that's where
Then that
Paranormal
would
Activity
be-
comes in.
Well, no.
It's like when I tell a scary story and Karina gets freaked the fuck out, that it's because it could happen to
Well, that's
you in
because
real
we
life.
also had a motherfucker creeper fucking with us.
Or it just could be my scary ass story. I mean, it could be a lot of things. But
That's
so,
what-
I want to see I want to see the Goosebumps movie.
I'm enjoying the
The emotions?
Sherlock. It's like the Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes of
Yes.
everything going on here. Like you're
It's
pondering something. So, what's your favorite scary movie?
Yes.
Honestly, it's not that I'm not a fan of horror movies, it's just, what's the word? It's like you had good horror movies back in the past, and then you have all these newer ones coming out, and it's just kind of bringing down the genre.
Mhm.
So I've kind of lost taste with them, honestly. I remember not 28 Weeks, but 28 Days Later. That was a good
Right.
movie. 28 Weeks was another good one that I do like, and I've watched that over and over. But really, there's just not, like, all the scary movies today that kids are getting scared of today, it's like they have better shit out, like back in the 90s and that.
Have you seen Zombievers?
Oh, dear Lord Jesus.
It sounds almost as bad as Sharknado.
It's Zombievers, and it's exactly what you think it would be. But when you're talking about the better stuff, it's a callback to those like 80s and 90s
those
campy
80s
slasher movies.
Okay.
The one
So
where
it's
you
zombies, but
The acting stuff with
slasher
the gore was
movies.
good.
The gore
no.
was all right, but it's definitely B movie gore. Like it's,
Friday the 13th was.
right. It's not like very high tech. It's all stuff you would expect. So anyway, sorry, I interrupted you there.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
you're fine. There's another movie that kind of sticks out in my mind, but it doesn't really fit into the Halloween kind of scene, but The Hills Have Eyes. That
Love
was
it.
a good set. Hills Have Eyes 2.
Love it.
National Guard. They spun it off really good with, just what they had. And that's, like, when people ask me what my favorite movie is, That's up there, and then.
It's a Wes Craven movie, also.
Is it?
Is
Yes.
Budgets.
Yes, it is.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Okay, I do have.
Yeah.
I do have a favorite
Wes
now.
Craven did.
I couldn't think of one.
See, no, it's not a Halloween movie, but
No,
it is
it's
a Wes
not.
Craven movie,
Yeah.
apparently.
Kane did all the stunts and everything in one of the original ones too. So
Jesus Christ. So, Kenny just handed me, for those who are listening, the Friday the 13th Ultimate Collection. And I gotta tell you, I think that my buddy Ryan would love this because he does love Friday the 13th. And I don't
kill
think he actually
counts
has this.
tells you what the budgets
Yeah.
were.
That's a lot. It's got a lot of stuff going on here. And all the movies, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the
make sure
first
you're...
date.
When you, if you're looking for a scary collection, Friday the 13th, the Ultimate Collection, definitely a place to go. Go to the website, dirtyshowunderground.com, click the link and buy through Amazon. You help out the show, and it doesn't cost you anything
I
extra.
don't even know if you could find that collection anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, Amazon's probably the place to look if you're going to do it. Make sure you click through the link on the website to try and help out. So, Matt, favorite scary movie? Halloween if you want, but otherwise, obviously, we're venturing.
If you don't give a story, I'm going to tell about your white noise story.
Oh, God, okay.
This is my mom.
What white noise story?
He'll tell
I
us.
remember you going to see White Noise and then getting home that night and being freaked out by it. You called me and sat on the phone with me for like 2
I was pretty drunk.
I doubt you were drunk. But I remember you calling me being freaked out because of that goddamn movie.
I was freaked out of the from the movie Child's Play. As a kid, I could not.
You didn't have a good guide dog?
No, what I'm saying is,
My buddy.
That's what they were actually calling.
Yeah.
I like legit did not like dark hallways for years after that. I legit was terrified.
You know what was really sad? My mom being in a wheelchair, and I had my good buddy.
Mhm.
I would crawl into her bedroom on the floor, knowing she couldn't get out the fuck out the bed, and chalk that fucking doll up on her bed. And she was screaming. I would just jump up and run out the room laughing my ass off.
You're a disgusting human being for
That's so
doing
fucked
that.
up, Kenny.
Now, I was gonna say
pretty
the people who dress their 3-year-olds up as Chucky. So it just made me think of that. You're trying to get your kid kicked. Because if I see a little kid running up to me dressed like Chucky, I'm gonna punt that little kid as far and as hard as I can.
Some
Did
realistic
you have
things
an-
right there.
Did you have an issue with Chucky when you grew up?
I didn't, but I'm just thinking I saw a
The
picture.
only issue I have, it's not the fact that he kills the one issue is Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
That's the one thing that stood with me after like 20 years now is
I don't have any
the
issue
Achilles
with
tendon.
any of that. All I have an issue with is like a little kid who doesn't talk and he's just kind of grunting, running up to me with a play knife in his hands. I don't take chances. Here's the thing. So I saw another thing that was in a
So
strip
you're part
club.
of the dictatorship. You don't take chances.
I don't take chances on anything. I saw a video of a guy they were at a strip club and they dressed up strippers as zombies and then had them come out.
That's fucking
And
awesome.
That's
my kind of strip club.
They came out of the dark and out of the fog, and these guys like scramble up over the chairs. You're holding a beer bottle in your hand. Some zombie girl comes out. I'm not running. I'm hitting her with the bottle, kicking her in the face, and then maybe getting out of there. Don't fuck with me when it comes to zombies.
And then Glenn came out.
Well, I think Glenn came out. But no,
Wait, what kind of strip club are we at where a little Asian man comes out of the back?
I mean, it's the one that you recommended to me, so I don't know. I was weirded out by being there. So
Did you see the video the other day that I posted with the sexy zombie shit?
yeah, I
made me
reposted
laugh.
that. Now, and again, that's another one. Like everybody runs, and I get why you run, but some of those guys were holding shit that could be a weapon.
Yep.
Don't play with me when it comes to zombies.
That's like they do the clown stuff out in California when people will go fuck. Clown, 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 clown.
Somebody doesn't like clowns, I guess.
Somebody's not down with the
So
clown.
You're
Whoop,
gonna go see
whoop.
the reboot of it, right?
Well, I know my dude.
It is the reason I don't like clowns.
No,
This is a clown.
there's a video of dudes there's a video of dudes.
No, they're not dressed up like clowns. They have their face painted.
It's
That's
a totally different thing, man. It's totally different.
Is it?
I'm gonna start making balloon animals, see if that freaks her out.
I see Rob buying stuff to make
Okay,
blue
let me put it
animals
to
on
you
there.
this
I
way.
like
It freaks me out because of the sharp teeth and like the creepy fucking eyes. That
Okay.
Well, when you find out that Pennywise is really just a gigantic spider.
which is worse. I don't like spiders either.
All right, let's get this thing back on the right. Matt,
No, I'm not done yet.
go ahead.
I'm not
Go
done
ahead.
yet. Where the fuck was I?
Oh,
Matt, what's your
Lost
favorite
it.
scary movie?
Let's go back to Matt.
Well, they don't
we
have
never
one.
got there.
You don't like? Do you not like
No,
scary
I love
movies?
scary movies. I
Okay.
just don't have a favorite.
So
Have
what
you
is
seen a
one?
movie that was really scary?
Not really.
Actually, and I know
there's been a few times where you've called me and sat on the phone and it wasn't just white noise.
The
There was a couple other
Conjuring.
ones.
I think I've seen that.
actually,
with the box?
no, it's the one Annabelle came from.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Which is based on a real doll, by the way.
Yeah, the whole movie's based on true events.
Yeah.
And
The
they're making
movie's
Annabelle too.
falsified, but it's based on true events.
Yeah, I always love reading the true story because I'm like, okay, so it's not exactly the movie, but the story is fucking scarier than the movie. Why wouldn't you just follow this story? Because that Annabelle story, freaks me out. They still have that doll in a box and it moves.
It can't be opened. The box can't be opened. It's not supposed
The
to be
fucking
touched.
doll moves inside of the box. Like, if it's by itself, it'll rattle the glass trying to get out. Like, fucking, are you kidding me? Put that in a fucking movie. It scares the shit out of me. So,
And if you're going there, then you got
The Hills Have Eyes was based on true event.
less so, though.
So
But it was
so
based
was
on
The
a family
Descent.
and they were slightly inbred, but it wasn't as bad.
Slightly, they were inbred.
Yeah, but, you know.
so was The Descent. So
We also-
was
Kenny had
You
me
live in
watch.
Ca- we live
Kenny
in
had
Cali
me watch a
County.
movie the other night. What was it called? About the place where the nuclear bomb went off.
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they falsified it because they had it where the people were actually came back and they were disfigured from the nuclear bomb and.
But you know why I ended up watching it? Because when I went into watching it, I thought it was going to be like a documentary, not...
Well, it's called the Chernobyl documentary, right?
Yeah,
No,
I wanted to watch it because Call of Duty 4.
Right, you're right.
50,000 people used to live here.
That town freaks me out, too, because they literally just got up and left. And
Well, they didn't have a fucking choice.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's
the
either get up and
tables-
leave or die.
The table set, like the merry-go-round still works. Like that
Yeah, the
place
music part
fucking
was
freaks
just
me out.
done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people in
I want to
Pompeii
go to the
that...
Legend of the Fall.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so I don't have, there's scary movies, but there's also scary situations we've been involved in. Being an EMT, we had a call where we went all the way out to the Delaware line, and we got to this empty house where none of the lights were on, there was an eviction notice and all that stuff. And, you know, it's out in the middle of nowhere, it's like farmland, so it's really dark as hell. So we're looking around and everything's, you know, sealed up, but we see a realtor's key, so we call and we get the code for the key, and then we open it up, and then as we're opening the door, we see a red light, and we kind of see the kitchen and stuff, and we're just like, oh, okay, this is fucking scary already. But we gotta look and go in because, you know, someone called 911 and it went out right to this address, and it was a medical alarm. I mean, that's an important part of the story. But we go in there, and we see this thing that's red, and it's an actual alarm for someone who has like a home assistant security system in there. And we're looking around, it's just like, well, we gotta check the place. And we're looking around, and it's like this 1960s kind of look. You know, you got like the turquoise carpet, and you got, you know, plastic wrap on the windows for heat and shit. But it's also somewhat trashed. So the water's working, the electricity's works most parts of the house. And so my guy's like, oh, okay, you want to check upstairs? I'll check downstairs. Okay, we're good. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Rule number one, man, never separate.
No.
You gotta stay together.
Yeah.
I got an EMT story also.
Yeah, but anyway, so I have to go upstairs, and I'm like, okay, this still looks like a living space, and then all of a sudden I turn the corner upstairs, and all of a sudden it's just plywood. Some of the doors have plastic wrap on them, they look like a crime scene. I'm just like, shit, and it's the shady lighting too.
Yeah.
And we're looking around, and some of the rooms don't have lights in them at all. So now I'm having to use my little pin light and look around and shit in the dark, and that thing does not put out that much light. No, it does not. So I'm looking around, there's like drywall dust everywhere, it's quiet too. And I go into one room, and I see the glass fucking dolls that are white.
Oh, nice.
Seeing this at 2 at
Porcelain
night,
dolls.
yeah, seeing that at 2 at night gives you the fucking creeps.
I
And then
have
to
some
go
of those,
check
by the way.
upstairs into the attic. It's hot as shit because it was in summer, and you know it's like, yeah, like you have the stairwell and it's got walls on it so you don't fall down. But it's kind of like a circle, so you're looking around, all of a sudden you hear something rustle, and it's like something's behind that shit and it's gonna either come that way or that way.
Oh, God.
So we get out, and then all of a sudden a truck comes up, and we're like, oh shit, these are like fucking neighbors and gonna shoot us and shit. Because that's just the country mentality. And then they're like, oh no, this guy died like 4 months ago. So house was empty to begin with. The battery in it died, so what it'll do is it'll automatically ring. You know, pointless call, but scary as shit.
Jesus Christ, creeping around that place.
They have us still in there waiting for you to
during
come.
the double blizzard during the double blizzard 4 years ago, we get a call out in the middle of the night in what pretty much the same area where he's talking about, but like 3 or 4 miles due north on the Delaware line, like back off some country road. There's 2 houses on a driveway that are a mile back down in the middle of a field. Mind you, it's 12 o'clock at night. The wind is blowing sideways, so you've got snow hitting you in the face. We go to the first house. We're coming around the side door, some yo boy, 20-some-year-old comes up, what the fuck are you doing here? And the paramedic and I pretty much if we hadn't have caught ourselves, we would have thrown whatever we had, the bags of just medical supplies, just gone, fuck you! Just thrown them at him.
By the way.
And just thrown them at him, and like we stood there and we went, we're looking for this house. Oh, it's over there.
Fucking tweakers.
And we're in the middle of the snowstorm, trouncing around in snow like up to our knees, and just in the middle of the night, you don't expect a tweaker to come out in the middle of a freaking call and tell you, oh, you're at the wrong house.
God.
Well, that's nice. You don't run up on people. If we were cops, you'd have gotten shot.
Well, speaking of scary stuff, so is anybody...
Final Destination. I actually... some of the stuff in that movie, it's not so much that it's scary, it's all that shit's plausible.
Yeah,
given the right time.
I bet none of us drive behind a loud...
Nobody will drive behind a logging truck ever again, anywhere. 500 feet.
I love when I see the
I'm
pictures
scared to ride roller coasters.
Roller coaster I'm not worried about, but the fucking
I'm scared to take showers.
I was on Google searching amusement park rides that have fallen apart, like legit watching the shit.
Well, there was a roller coaster that sort of fell apart in Maryland. The one at Six Flags, it didn't fall apart. It just got stuck. No, it got stuck.
There was one where the Batman ride got stuck and the dude fell out of the harness.
Jesus. Anyway, so I don't want to ruin roller coasters for myself or anybody else.
If you're gonna die, you might as well die happy riding roller coasters.
Yeah, you're not happy. You're looking at the ground going, oh fuck.
Nah,
you're happy up until the splat at the end.
Anybody, so is anybody?
The dudes that are doing
Wait, Russ.
Just I saw a menu pop up. So has anybody done any of the I don't want to call them urban legends, but anybody? Have you ridden out to 5 Points to see the Headless Horseman at Halloween?
Out here?
Yeah.
Where the fuck
I've been out there.
Where the
5
fuck is
Points?
5 Points?
All right, so 5 Points.
Down Legion Road.
Yeah. Way down Legion. Out past Hobbs. You go all the way out to near the substation.
And there's a dirt road that goes straight, and then you have where Legion turns around. It goes towards
back towards 404.
No, towards 16. Towards Hickman. So it's from Hickman to Hobbs is one road. Substation Road comes out there.
That's not Legion Road, because Legion's
it turns into Hobbs.
Anyway, point of the story.
Anyway, the point of the story is if you go out there and park, turn off your lights, and toss your keys up onto the hood of the car, and sit quietly, you'll hear like horse hoof beats coming down, and your keys will fly off your hood of your car down into the grass.
Have you tried this one?
I have done it in high school. Freaked me the fuck out.
See, there
More
was
than
a story.
the Black X?
More than the Black X.
What
No,
is
the
the
Black
Black
X is the story I told you.
Okay.
Oh, no.
There's a bridge between Anne Arundel and PG County off of Governor's Bridge Road, and there's an urban legend off of out there that okay, hold on. I'll get to that story in a second. I want to get to the stuff with the clowns.
Worst storyteller
ever! Okay, the clowns.
Baby River.
That's what I was going to say after that.
The clowns, there have been people that were going out and being clowns and terrorizing people. Well, finally there's a video on Facebook of this group of black dudes that finally like punked them down and like just they're all strapped and they come up and they're just beating the shit out of these guys and finally they're holding guns to their faces and the cameraman's like, it's a prank, fuck you, fuck this prank. And
we don't encourage violence, and we certainly don't encourage putting guns on people.
But it is funny as hell when you finally see people that are terrorizing people get the shit terrorized out of them.
Yeah,
but
bridge.
okay,
yeah.
Segue back into Crybaby Bridge between Anne Arundel and PG County. It's the same area that there's another urban legend that ties into it that's called Goatman. That it's an experiment between the USDA and NASA and somebody else that was supposed to be a half human, half goat cryptid hybrid that roams the Glendale, Bowie, Upper Marlboro area in the western part of Anne Arundel County.
I've never even heard this one.
Me either.
Go look on the internet.
Okay.
I swear to God, it's all.
I'm gonna try to find links for
Can I
all of
ask
these
you a
stories.
question? Do y'all know how many crybaby bridges there are?
Well, okay, now, so here's what I'm going to tell you.
County?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. There's a reason that Anne Arundel has a crybaby bridge, and we have two. So when people were really poor during the Depression,
people are still really poor in Caroline County.
But they were
what the fuck are you talking about?
They were like poor, can't support kids, gonna be bad.
People still are poor and can't support kids in Caroline
Another
County.
story, another time.
Fucking stepping on my stories.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping. I'm fucking so close.
Halloween. This isn't political.
Good lord. Anyway, so the whole point is that during the Depression, people would actually, there were stories about people who, in the wintertime, would take the kids outside because they wouldn't, once they got cold enough, they wouldn't cry anymore, and they would just let the snow cover them up. And then so they would also go throw them in rivers, so just so that you didn't have another mouth to feed. So the reason there's so many crybaby bridges is that because there's stories from all over the place, the country, about places where there is a bridge that is well traveled, but the river itself is kind of out of the way, and people would throw their babies in the river, and then they would come down under the bridge. So you can't hear, you don't see anything at night, but when you're driving through, you would hear the baby crying as it went underneath the bridge and echoed. But the other thing we would do is take them outside and not bury them in the snow, but like carve out a little nest in the snow and put the baby there, and then it would snow on top. And then in the springtime, you would find all of these babies buried that had like thawed out in the snow. And the look on your face is fucking classic.
But there's the Crybaby Bridge over there. It is a steel. It is an old like 1950s steel bridge. Has barely been upkept. That when you approach it from either side, from the PG or the Anne Arundel County side, you have to go off to, if you're coming from Anne Arundel, you pull off to the right, and it goes up to the left, but you have to look at the bridge, and then you have to look at the other side. If there's somebody coming, you can't get on the bridge. Right. The bridge is wide enough. I drove it in a Lincoln Town Car, and there was probably 3 inches on either side of my mirror.
Right, it's a one-car
It's
bridge.
a one-car bridge, but the area, I mean, hell, you have Sandy come up here, and that place floods out for 2 miles on either side of it. It's the most inopportune place to have a bridge, but it brings you out right to, like, in between there's a dealership in Bowie on the northbound side of 3 and the baseball field. It brings you out right in between there.
Yeah. Well, so
it's a like you said, it's a well-traveled bridge, but where it is out of the fucking way. There's another end of Patuxent River, the Little Patuxent, between Conway and Old Bowie, that had a bridge similar to that, but they tore it down because the upkeep for it was just
a lot of
atrocious.
places you find that is where there are falls upriver too, because these parents, in their concern for their babies, would put them upriver of the falls, hoping that going over the falls would kill them instead of having them just float downstream. So yeah, it's a real fucked up story, but things happen. Fucked up shit
There's
happens.
a lot of bad history.
You don't
want your baby? Give it to me.
You don't need it.
That baby would be there 90 now.
You got 3 living in your house already. I don't know why you would want another one, and 4 right now. So
fuck you! I don't live here.
But I mean, like, there's stories from all around.
Somebody gave me my hockey mask.
There's also the 7 Rings of Hell in Talbot County,
What is
which
that?
there is a
Is that the
cemetery
one with the trees that cross?
It's not trees. It's iron. It's wrought iron gates. So there are 7 gates in this
What's
thing.
the one I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of
There's the hanging tree.
You're thinking of Hanging Tree.
No, I heard that when I was out near.
That's out near Trinity Mills.
Y'all are saying shit that I don't even know what the hell it is.
All right, so the hanging tree out. I think it is near Tunis Mills.
It's on Tunis Mills, off Tunis Mills Road, going out to Union. No,
Yeah,
it's going out towards.
Okay, anyway, I'm not worried about where it's at. I'm worried about the story behind it.
It has a flat portion, and the more, if you see pictures of this tree from like the late 1800s to now, the limb actually starts leveling out more, and they said that's because so many people were hung from the tree, and after they would lynch you, they would leave the body hanging there, that it brought the entire limb down till now it's flat in one portion before it goes back up after the lynching stops. So
okay, now the gate.
the gates thing. There's a cemetery in Talbot County that has 7 wrought iron gates on it, and supposedly the thing is that if you walk through them, they're all numbered, and if you walk through them in order, that when you pass through the 7th gate, you'll walk through and you'll disappear and you won't come out the other side. And they're set up in a pagan ritual that people don't understand. So if you
We need to go try this with you walking through the doorways.
Listen, I've already been to hell. I'm the Antichrist, so I don't know what you're worried about.
Whatever.
But so there's all those stories from all
Well,
over
then you
the
had
place.
nothing to worry
Then
about.
there's Thin Lizzy down. Or is it Thin Lizzy? No, it's not Thin Lizzy. That's a band.
Yeah,
What the fuck
I was
am I
gonna say,
thinking?
that's pretty sure it's a band.
Big Liz is down off of Fishing Bay, down in the southern part of Dorchester County, down I think near Crapo,
Okay.
and it's the same idea as.
Go ahead.
Sirs, we are having podcasts. Why are you on your phones?
I'm looking up the 7 gates of
There you
to go do it.
And
I'm
he's
trying to find my page where I had to say.
it's down near Crapo or
Yeah.
Fishing.
Not it.
It's down near Fishing Bay, but it's the same idea of a headless person. You put your car in the middle of the bridge, honk the horn, and
The keys go off though.
the key,
Yeah.
not the keys go off, but
You'll hear
this headless woman walks up, and mind you, she's like 600 pounds, so she's hobbling up to you.
Have y'all ever been at Red Bridges after dark?
Yep.
Well, you know the thing about Red Bridges. Red Bridge, it's part of the Indian lore. Red Bridges is an Indian burial ground. So that's why it's real freaky out there.
Well, when you think about it, all of America is an Indian burial ground. That's another political.
I took one of my friends over one night, back when I had my car, a long time ago, before I had kids and everything. We were getting high, and we were sitting in the car, in the dark, out there, and I had the lights and everything on at first, and I was like, I made up this fucking retarded ass story, just trying to scare her. And I was like, alright, I'm going to turn the lights off and I'm going to turn the car off now and I'm going to lock the doors. Tell me why, when we turned the stuff off, the car started shaking a little bit. I was like, okay, fuck this, I scared myself, we're out.
Whispering Point's the same way that they say if you go down and sit there and flash your, it's south of Denton, it's on the river. But so the Indians that used to live here were pushed out by the settlers, and then
white people.
The small tribe came in and tried to fight the settlers, and all the men got killed. And the women were convinced that these white devils would come in and rape them and murder them. So instead, what they did is they filled their pockets with rocks and walked out off of Whispering Point Marsh and drowned themselves. And they say that if you go out there and you flash the lights, honk the horn, and turn everything off, that you can hear Indians chanting out over the water, because as they drowned their children, they were doing their death chant.
I'm one of y'all, don't kill me.
Yeah, the pale face is saying she's with them.
Actually, I'm part Cherokee and part Blackfoot Indian.
Everybody's part Cherokee.
Well, I'm part Blackfoot Indian.
Well, anyway.
I'm not a
That's-
Polish.
I'm part Indian, I'm safe.
Well, I was gonna say you're part Blackfoot, but that's a bathing problem. That's
Alright,
not
here's
so
a
much-
bunch of stories
Yeah.
from around Maryland.
Okay,
If you want to find it interesting while we talk about it.
Don't make me laugh too hard. I'm gonna fart.
Please don't.
Anyway.
Fine.
Alright, so this is a really great pod, so we're just going to kick on from this. So how about any fun stories from growing up from Halloween? I got plenty of fun stories as an adult, but they usually involve girls dressed like whores and a lot of alcohol.
Well,
so.
that's like every weekend for you.
That's
It's
terrible.
What about that?
Yes.
What about Amityville?
I've been to the Amityville Horror House actually.
Oh, I've got
How
a
was
couple
it?
stories from
Did
my
you feel-
parents.
Anything
The
while you were
house,
there?
you can't go inside because somebody actually lives there.
Yeah.
But it's weird standing outside. And I don't know if it was weird because
Of the movie?
because the movie gave you a weird feeling, or if it was just the house. But
There's a house in Easton that my dad used to live in. It's I think it was like an old preacher house or whatever. But when they lived there, like any white clothes they used to have, like toothbrushes, white clothes, stuff like that, would get packed under the floorboards. Their dog used to sit at the bottom of the stairs and bark up at the stairs and would not go upstairs at all. And when they would go to bed at night and come downstairs, they'd find a picture frame off their wall, taken off the wall, turned around, and put behind a vase.
Now there's a I can't remember what the house was, but the Ghost Hunter show I would watch with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Ghost Hunter group that's apparently going to this house this Halloween with like 7 or 8 priests, and they're going to cleanse the house.
it's just a waste. Why are you gonna ruin everybody's good time?
Well,
Well, so and we're
The
hearing.
preachers probably need to get away from the parsonage and go see the horrors that you're looking at.
What you don't realize is there's probably a lot of evil in a preacher's old house.
You do
gotta think-
realize that there is like
Yeah.
women that will fuck preachers on the down low that have taken
You
the vow
gotta
of
think,
celibacy.
how many preachers have
Way off the rails.
Black-
Way off the rails. Doesn't matter. So the
No.
hanging tree. This actually has an interesting story about the hanging tree that says if you go out there and park, you'll actually see the people start to appear who have been hung under the tree.
so the
hadn't
one
heard
I
that
heard
part
was
before.
about walking around the tree 3 or 4 times after dark, and then like the 3rd or 4th time you walk around, you can see the person hanging.
I don't know that that's the hanging tree in Tunis Mill. That might be a different one.
This one's out near Chestertown.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, one of your people you used to work for told me that story.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
No names, no names. Shit, what was I saying?
I don't know, but I got a point.
Yeah, go ahead.
That story, the first story that you told about the car keys and the headlights and
Mhm.
all, there is an exact same legend out where I used to live in Delaware, Bethel, this very small town, southern, Woodland Bridge, Woodland Ferry.
Fuck you! I know. One of my coworkers told me the same story. Bethel is down between Sharptown, El Dorado, Brookview, and Laurel. Like it's like the corner.
Yeah.
It's like the corner of Delaware, the
Right.
bottom corner of Delaware.
All right, let
Tell
him
us
tell
the
But-
story. Yeah.
What are you
I'm trying to!
Not
You
yet.
just- Rob, this is what you were just talking about. It's called Bachelor's Point in Denton.
Yeah.
It says to avoid. God dang it! To avoid being killed,
They
they
went out and
drown
drowned
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
Bachelor's Point's probably what they call it now. Whispering Marsh is what they used to call it.
Where's it at?
You could still
Right
hear the
outside of
faint sound of the death chant floating across the
Is
river.
it down off of 328?
No, it's on the other side of the river. It's on this side of the river. This was Pig Point, and then the next place down is Bachelor Point.
Big Liz, is that what you were talking
Yeah, I was talking about Big Liz.
DeCourcy Bridge.
It's down
Uh,
Dorchester County, southern
her
Dorchester.
master had Big Liz follow him into the
Oh,
swamp.
I've heard the story of Big Liz, yeah.
Was Big Liz? I'm trying to remember because they say it's a ghost, but I think it was actually a slave.
It was.
ghost.
She went into the woods, and the master killed her, and now,
Anybody who follows her to see his treasure
Well, no.
dies, never comes back. That's what it just said.
white people who follow her get killed in
It
the woods.
says-
do it.
So-
It says shortly
Well,
after.
white people going into the bottom part of Dorchester County get killed most of the time anyway because they drown.
Rude.
Okay.
It said,
Fuck white people!
Wait, come on.
It said shortly
Alright,
after he died, today people see Big Liz near DeCourcy Bridge holding her head in her hands, motioning to come follow her to her master's treasure, which she has never been found. All who have followed have never returned.
Right, yeah.
Because that part of the county is like 2 feet above water,
Right.
and you drive a dump truck
Not to
down there.
mention, Cambridge is shit, and it's got a crazy hospital. Anyway.
Well, it's got
The
2.
worst,
Can we
the
hear
most
Harry's story
So
now?
is
Yeah, go ahead.
Chestertown.
I want to hear
Go
Harry's
ahead.
story.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not much. It was pretty much the same as it is. It was just a different location. But Woodland Ferry is kind of scary at night. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can actually see the other side. And if you see fog blocking the other side, I think that'd be even more scary.
what I was going to say, the thing about that story is that everybody has that story from near
yeah.
place where they live.
Yeah.
It's the same story here everywhere,
It's
whether or
just
not it's
funny.
true.
Mhm.
And I think it's the kind of thing where like, you ever been snipe hunting before? Nope. Same thing as
No,
cow.
we're not as rich as you,
Okay.
fucker.
Okay, first of all, snipe hunting, rich. Snipe hunting is the same thing as cow tipping. So everyone realizes you can't actually tip over a cow.
Yeah, you can.
Have you ever been cow tipping?
I've been hog hunting.
Okay, that's
I
different.
mean, I've been
Snipe-
hogging to a bar, but that's
Snipe-
different.
Snipe hunting and cow tipping are the same thing. The whole point is that you drive somebody out there and tell them to go tip the cow, and then when they go out in the field to do it, you drive off and leave them. That's the whole point of cow tipping.
And usually
Snipe
the cow
hunting.
probably kicks the person in the
Oh!
Right.
Oh,
Snipe
I
hunting-
did that in Baltimore one time. We ran through Morgan State. It was 3 white dudes and 3 black dudes, and the black dudes told us,
You're the most un-PC person I have ever
it's 2015,
met in my
I don't
life.
give a fuck!
Anyway, so the point being, snipe hunting is the same thing. You go out and you're like, listen, all right, you go stand here. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to shake the bushes, and the snipes will run out. Use this bag and pick them up. And then when they wander off, you get in the car, you drive off, and leave them out in the woods. That's the whole point of snipe hunting. So the point of that being that, it's my thought is when you have things like that, what happened to the car keys that the car was in? I don't know. My guess is that the guy who took me out there had set it up to scare the shit out of me. Me and my friends just to they get them knocked off somehow, and we all get freaked out. And you say, "Oh my god, do you hear the hoofbeats?" And most people will be like, actually hearing hoofbeats because it's groupthink.
Do you know where Gross Coat is in Easton?
Nope.
It says something about Aunt Molly Tillman has been seen floating down the steps.
What's that one right here in Denton over the
Over at the jail, the handprint. And
Right,
Oh,
they-
no,
they-
the
jail
jail,
cells.
the cemetery right over here by Rural Farms.
Well, and you know
There's
who
one
that?
there.
Well, there's the
Well,
no
there's-
wrong cemetery. It's the one down by the church over there.
I've read one right there by the cemetery.
The
right
one
there
on
by Rural
328, there's a guy facing the wrong way because he killed a kid, and that was their way of saying that you're gonna burn in fucking
Yeah,
hell.
it's usually
Well, okay,
said
so-
that if you're faced in a different direction than the rest of the graves, you've committed a crime that was so bad that you didn't even deserve to be buried, but they did anyway because their family requested it.
All right, so not exactly accurate. The whole point is that whenever you go to a cemetery, graves are always going to face the east because when Christ returns, you want to come up out of your grave to meet your Maker. So the reason they bury people the opposite direction is so that when you get resurrected, you'll have your back turned on Christ.
You believe in Jesus?
Well, I'm not telling you why it is. So when you do commit a crime,
You're talking about Jesus now. Fuck you.
when you
fuck
commit a crime-
Jesus.
first of all, before 1950, every crime was put in religious
We're gonna get
context.
so much shit
I know.
for this episode.
So the whole point is that when somebody did a crime, especially against children, they would bury them the opposite way. So when they were resurrected, they would have their back turned on Christ,
So
and then they
are
wouldn't
these
be
the same
taken
people that
out.
would be killing that
PSA announcement. We are not responsible for the shit that comes out of Russell's mouth.
Yes, absolutely not. That's
Well,
our
some of us
spoiler.
are atheists.
PSA.
Well, and I don't care about the religion thing. I'm telling you that the reason a grave that was made in the 1800s is facing the wrong direction is because they want their back turned on Christ when resurrection comes. That's why. So you don't get to go to heaven. You have to stay here on earth. That's the whole point of their.
Or
religion.
in Europe, didn't they have like the little cage over it in case they were?
Well, no, that
kidnapped
is a Victorian era thing to stop vampires from rising from
Because
from the grave.
I guess that would really stop a vampire.
when you die, your body when it starts to deteriorate just a little bit before they would embalm people, the hairs in your body would look like the hair in your body would be growing out and your fingernails will be growing out. That's just your body. Your body would still grow fingernails for maybe another week, 2 weeks afterwards, and then it would stop. Your hair, you would go from being clean shaven like Matt to having hair like mine.
Sorry, you can't grow shit. So.
No, well, and the other the
Hold
thing-
on.
People believe that they would
Hold
go
on.
out.
Something.
Go ahead.
She's gonna poop
Have I
herself.
ever told you the story about Brittany and I driving down a back road, coming from Felton and Harrington and all that, and we saw this big black dog with glowing red eyes?
No.
No, you want to tell us?
I've never told you that story.
This goes to Halloween, so go ahead and tell us.
Well, we were leaving somebody's house. I'm not gonna say who because that'll make you mad. But anyway, we were leaving
Why,
somebody's.
Shane?
She was
No.
Chris.
Kendall's fine. We were leaving and we were driving down the road and we looked to our right and there was like this big dog with
Right.
glowing red eyes. And we're like, what the hell? Okay, mind you, this bitch was huge. So we
just found this.
Was it
Yeah.
Clifford?
kept
It
going.
was Clifford.
Chill. Hold on. Let
We
it go.
kept going, and mind you, we had gotten like 15 miles up the road at this point.
Yeah.
It was up there waiting for us as we went by again. Her and I swear to God, we were never going back. Ever. I just found it on here. Highway 12 West, Felton, Delaware.
Yeah.
A ghost dog with glowing red eyes is said to walk this stretch. According to local legend, so the story goes, an angry tenant murdered his landlord, ground up the body, and fed it to his dog. The ghost dog has been seen at the roadside by nighttime drivers. Fuck that!
Wow. Anyway, so yeah, but I mean,
Okay, I
there's
drove
always
that
a
road
little
for
bit-
almost a year, and now I automatically have to shit myself.
Okay.
You've been doing a lot
Let's
of
go-
shitting yourself.
Let's go back
this
over
episode.
here.
But all right, so so there's a lot of those stories around it, and you'll find the same stories wherever you go. Some of them could just be setups by people who are like, I'm gonna
Right.
scare the shit out of somebody. That stuff there, I mean, if
That-
it's seen by more than one person,
That
it's
makes
different.
me feel like there's some demonic shit going
Right.
on.
I want to hear from Matt.
About his favorite
Because
movie. We still haven't heard that.
Not just anything, because like this is like the fourth podcast he's been involved with, and
He sits silently.
yes, it's
Silent Bob.
Even though it looks
Alright, well,
but
so
you don't have the hair to be silent.
Let's do this. Let's do this. So, favorite stories from your youth, from Halloween from your youth. I'll start out. My favorite thing that I ever did was we had a church Halloween party, and we didn't celebrate Halloween in my house because my dad's a preacher. So we went to the church thing, which sucked because church on Halloween
That
sucks.
explains a lot.
And then we
Which church did you go to?
Parkland Church of God in Felsberg.
Don't zip.
So, more importantly, at the end of my block, there was this tree that had no branches and it was really bushy at the top. Now, there was little pegs, and you could climb it if you knew where the pegs were. So, one of my neighbors made up a dummy filled with newspaper, and then when kids came by on Halloween night, we dropped the dummy out of the tree and went, "Ugh!" And people freaked out, and kids dropped their candy. And even though I wasn't allowed to go trick or treating, I had plenty of candy at the end of the night because we stole them from
You're
the
a
kids.
sick fuck!
Yeah. So anyway, what's your favorite story from your youth from Halloween?
Don't have one.
Did you never go trick or treating?
Nope.
Never had a costume?
Nope.
None of that stuff?
I just don't have it.
What was your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
Paper out.
Can't remember.
God damn. Silent Bob over here, that's fun.
He's at it again.
Go ahead.
There was in Greensboro, there was a rumor that the house at the corner of Riverview and 480 was haunted. The house that sits now across from the hotel and the library in Greensboro, it was supposedly haunted. Now looking at that house is barely livable for a dwarf. I mean, it's a very tiny little itty bitty house.
Well, to be fair, though, most houses were that size at that time. So,
Yeah, but
poor people just put up a matchstick house and got it done. So, but anybody, freaky stories from their childhood, favorite childhood
there was
memories
the
of
dude
Halloween?
that I don't know, was it if it was in Halloween, but there was a dude that was found dead in Greensboro a couple years ago. I don't remember who found him.
Well, there was a guy in Ridgely who got murdered by his wife.
Oh yeah.
No, that was his daughter.
I was
Daughter.
gonna say, the last thing I remember in Greensboro was the bishop's house.
I don't even know where that is.
On the corner of what was it, Vernon?
Vaughn and the corner of Vaughn
Where the
and
new Mr. D's was for a while.
Okay, yeah.
Where
Vaughn
the
and
pizza place is
Vaughn and
now.
Main Street.
Yeah.
It was right there at the four-way stop. The one boy shot the other boy in the face with the shotgun.
Oh yeah, shot him in the nose.
We all went to school together.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Yeah, no, we did.
Because then the kid ran down to
Because he told
Kevin's
the
house
cops
and
he
told
didn't
him
think the shotgun was
was loaded.
loaded.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, how about favorite costumes?
Remember Danny Bell? His brother
I
shot
got
him in the
one.
face.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So,
With a BB gun, shot him in the eye, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, stop. We're on favorite costume.
so last minute party, my friend hits me up, and it's like, shoot, I do not have a costume to go with. So I'm thinking, what do I have around my house? Okay, I got paintball gear, so I got a vest. It looks kind of cool. I also got a pinstripe suit, and then I'm thinking, oh, what's that fucking game? It's a Call of Duty game. and they have the terrorists in the airport and all that stuff.
No Russian
Modern
Call of Duty
Warfare
2.
Modern Warfare 3, there
Yeah.
you go. I was thinking, okay, yeah, there's kids that are going to be there. That'll work.
And it did.
They'll get that.
It
They'll get
fucking
it.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had the paintball gun and I took the barrel out, so it didn't look too realistic. But it worked. I mean, on the spot, just like that. And it looked good.
Yeah, see, that's why I like Halloween in college, because
I went as a white member of the Nation of Islam a couple years ago.
Dude, you.
Had my work hat
Okay,
from...
you are restricted from talking from now on.
I don't know what to say. It's like...
We're in costumes!
Hold on.
It was a costume. I had black pants, black shoes, a white shirt, and I worked at Ruby Tuesdays. So
What kind
they
of
had,
Paris did you really? Oh my god.
I feel like he's gonna tell a story like, well, 3 years before that I went in blackface and it was really weird. I don't know why I got so
there's always that one white dude that's in the Nation of Islam.
And then a couple years before that I was a ghost. I had a pointy hat. I don't know why everybody got freaked out. I'm draped in white with eye holes in it.
Why are you on the KKK now?
Because I'm picturing his previous.
Why?
Okay, this has nothing to do with Halloween.
Yes, it did. I went to a Halloween party dressed as the white
guy from the
member.
Nation of Islam.
Yes,
I
it's
got it.
perfectly okay. White
Oh,
people
dear
are allowed to
God.
become Muslims in jail. It is perfectly okay.
His defense of it being so vigorous makes the story even
Did you
better.
ever paint yourself with
This
shoe
might be
polish
the
too?
crazy-
No.
Hello, my
Oh,
baby. Hello, my darling.
wait.
No, him doing that
wait,
dance is even more racist.
Hold on. This might be the craziest podcast yet.
For any person getting offended in this podcast, I am extremely and truly
You can
Oh,
go
my
to
God.
your safe place.
The thoughts of
We
Russell
should have
are
him
his
do
and
it.
his alone. They do not represent the anthem or the Dirty Shore Underground.
But they do represent South Park.
Anyway, shut up. Keep going.
Here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to get dice, okay? You roll them, and you gotta see how much it adds up to. That's how many talking points Russ gets.
There you go. There you
If
go.
it's one
No.
bad luck,
We're on
bad
Dungeons
day,
and
Russ.
Dragons now.
What?
Huh?
We're on
Right?
Dungeons and Dragons now?
Why are we doing Dungeons and
I
Dragons?
just said dice, that's it. Okay, I guess that
And
no,
then
no,
you
that's
decided
not.
that.
comes to mind.
Oh my goodness.
The funny thing is, I've got dice out in my car.
Oh my goodness. Okay, who's
Just-
that song about Halloween costumes? Him and him, you're
I
done.
did.
Cut off. Bye. Okay. Matt, go ahead.
He doesn't have one.
What the fuck?
This is a train wreck.
No,
my
as a
last
young
year-
kid, he had to have a.
Last year's favorite costume was
See, you're
Stay
not
Puft the
pissed off.
Marshmallow
Jason
Man.
will
Go.
piss you off.
Oh, that's right. You were
Stay
sticking
Puft
off Marshmallow Man. Which
Stay Puft Marshmallow
included a
Man.
blow up.
blow up costume.
So he went as a.
Oh, do you have pictures?
So he went as a big
Do you
white
have pictures
person.
of this?
No,
Damn it!
I'll see if I can find the costume.
Jews
Oh
are
my
very.
god, you have to put it
Jews
on
are
and let me
very-
take pictures.
Hold on. Because everybody here knows me and we're trying to talk Halloween costumes. What was my number one costume as a kid?
Jason.
Jason.
No.
Freddy.
No. It's not horror at all.
Himself.
Nope. Fuck
Twisted.
you. Nope. Twisted wasn't around when I
I
was
don't fucking
4.
know.
Shaggy Tudo.
Again, not around when I was 4.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Still not around when I was 4.
He was the pink one.
He was the
But they were
green one.
green.
They were
No,
green.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was gonna say Gremlins.
Because I was Raphael one year.
What
I don't know what he
are the 2 most things
was.
I end up posting about?
Ninja Turtles. I went
Ninja
as
Turtles and the
Jesus.
Green Ranger.
I went as Jesus today. Church
Jason
Christmas
David
party.
Did your dad make you do that?
No, I volunteered. It started out as Moses, and then I got a brown beard instead to go as Jesus. So he wasn't so happy about it. I marked up my wrist. It wasn't a big. It was like not a good thing. So Christmas. Speaking of which, one of my
Yeah, hold on.
One of my
Rock
favorite Halloween movies, which isn't really a Halloween movie, but people watch it around now, is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
And
Is it a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
It's both. I mean, I watch it more around Christmas than I do Halloween, but now that we have Hala Thanksa Xmas instead of one holiday, it's just one long
Labor
holiday.
Columba Hala thanks no, it's Labor Native Flag Hala. Fuck
Oh
you,
my
Baba
God.
Christmas.
I feel like there is there's a cue I hear in a lot of podcasts. It's like, don't be a one-upper. Like that's what I'm like, don't be a one-upper.
He's been trying to
It's
everybody.
if he doesn't shut the hell up, I'm gonna duct tape his mouth, tie him up, and create a murder scene on this podcast.
Ooh.
That might be good radio.
I'll be over here.
If you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to do it.
You're over there.
I love The Nightmare Before Christmas because I think it has all those aspects of Halloween and Christmas kind of mixed together.
Nobody knows me.
Yeah.
That's a small ass mask for your big
And I
ass
said
head.
something to him about it. He was like, "Well, the actual
see it.
mask is too much money."
Sure.
Because the fucking Friday the 13th replica costs $200 to $300. That's why.
I just get a hockey mask and paint some stuff on it. Man.
Yeah.
Still about $100, and I only paid $30
Get a
for this on Black
get a hockey
Friday.
mask,
So
put a string on there. Just
Yeah.
drive around for a little bit. You get scratch marks and shit.
There you go. Yeah, it'd be fun. So you like The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh yeah. Love it.
Jack Skellington, one of my
Mhm.
favorite things. And I do treat it like a Christmas.
So
movie more than
then
Halloween.
everybody here is excited about the sequel. That's kind of
No,
big now.
I'm never excited about sequels, especially the stuff I saw as a kid. Because
I was excited about the Transformers sequel.
That says everything anyone needs to know about Russell right there.
What about Warner Brothers now
So you
doing?
didn't like the Corpse Bride?
Corpse Bride wasn't a sequel.
No, but you didn't. But it,
I like the Corpse Bride. It's just fun.
actually, they said it's kind of linked
It's
together.
a 3-part. Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Frank
because
and Weenie was the beginning.
Corpse
The
Bride.
Corpse Bride was the second, and then Nightmare Before Christmas.
And that comes from an interview that Tim Burton gave in 1998 where he said sometimes things are part of a bigger story and you don't have to tell a story in order. And so like, oh look, all the
Like
characters-
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna have to
Star
watch
Wars
it
was
for.
told in order though. He did the middle 3 and then the CGI allowed him to do the first 3 because the idea of the clones, you had to have something to be able to do that. And now they're doing the last ones. Which, by the way, just take a little side note because that happened this week. Anybody watch the trailer for Star Wars?
I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
I watched
I've
bits
heard
and
a lot
pieces
about
of
it, but I
it.
haven't seen it.
I refuse to see it because I don't want anything ruined.
That's
but-
what somebody commented on
Hashtag Luke dies.
the
Who doesn't?
Hashtag Russell's about to die.
somebody commented on what we actually had for the review episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like that, and they mentioned something about something that we didn't mention during
Mhm.
it for the next episode. And I was like, yeah, I tried not to mention the preview for the following episode because Rob doesn't like
Because
to
I
watch
don't
previews.
watch them. I don't watch.
So I try to skip that. And like I told you the other day, I did kind of screw something up for Brandon. Because he told me he jumped on Facebook after he told me he wasn't going to for the next week. And seen, all
Yeah.
the posts, dead, not dead. So I told him what happened. He's like, whoa, too much. I was like, well, you should have just told me to shut up and not even said it.
Well, I think that the
There
other
you
part
go.
of the other part of that is that it ties in kind of nicely is that I hate when a horror movie, slasher movies, scary movies, the trailer gives away way too much.
Mhm.
I think they do that far too often. I've
Or
seen
they
the
make
trailer.
it look like it's way too good, and then you go to watch it, and
It's
you're
like, best parts were in the trailer.
fuck
Yeah.
this.
And that's why I like Friday the 13th movies, because no matter how bad the acting's going to be,
It's gonna be
the
slow.
only reason you're watching
You
it
only
is
like it because
because
there's boobies every other scene.
Well, that.
Boobies!
I haven't noticed the boobies through the entire
You woke
time
him
we
up.
watched them all.
Thank you. You woke him up. You
But-
said boobies.
Well, cool.
Like
Russell.
we discussed on another podcast, and a lot of things when you watch something like that, you end up, yay, killer, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what it is with Friday the 13th movies. Fans of it don't care about what the story is.
Right.
Okay, I
They
got a
don't
question.
care how bad somebody's acting is. Hold on. They just want to see Jason kill people in creative
Right.
ways, and that's how the Friday the 13th movies
And-
have always been.
That's
Okay.
why they'll continue to make them because it's a simple little calculation. They just need him to kill people. That's what it
Yep.
is.
I have a
Yeah.
question. Okay, has everybody here seen Freddy versus Jason?
Yes.
Who hasn't?
Who were you rooting for?
Jason,
That's like Alien versus Predator. It's like,
Predator.
The engineers.
yeah.
Okay,
In a way, you want to cheer for the people who are caught in the crossfire between the two of
Fuck
them.
that. I want to see people.
I wanted
I-
Jason to win.
Why?
I'd say the engineers because Prometheus
It's
didn't get its fair share at the
Because
box office.
to her, they made Jason look like the good guy before the end of the
Then-
movie.
At the
Then
point,
again,
at the
the
point,
potholes and
Jesus
Hold on.
Christ!
You're not allowed to talk no more.
Prometheus. We're talking about Jason.
At the point where Freddy gets him and brings out his spear,
Yeah.
and you see what he was before he turned into the killer,
Okay.
which is just the scared, deformed, mistreated little boy.
And
You guys-
little boy.
Yeah.
Which you also see in part 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Okay, but in part 1, 2, and 3, you just see the flashbacks.
And he's
Which
still
is
the,
still
the
technically
the
bad
same.
guy
Yeah.
in those movies, though. And in Freddy vs. Jason,
And
it's
no
totally more
offense,
bad.
they kind of in Freddy vs. Jason, they kind of make Jason out to be the kind of good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he still kills everybody in the way, but
Right.
they're trying to save Jason to kill Freddy, and then you know what I mean.
That's because they were like they said in the movie. Even if it's in Crystal Lake, if Jason wins, it's on his home turf. Why is he gonna follow us back to here?
Right.
He's home. Why would he?
All right, so wrapping up here, what is everybody planning to do for their Halloween coming up in a couple of days now? 2 days after this post.
Yep.
Work.
Me too. How about
Yep.
that? Are you? What time do you get off?
8.
So you going out doing anything after that?
Here comes the plug again.
I don't know.
Wait. Hold on.
Really don't know.
Yeah.
Where are you Ubering from this Saturday night?
We're gonna get to that. What is everybody else doing on? Russell, you're invited to speak. What are your plans for Halloween?
I will be over on the Western Shore for a little while. I will come back in my wrestling outfit and go to a local bar and freak people the fuck out and then go to work. Oh no, I'll go to the pub. That'll be the second trip.
Going to the Market Street Pub on 2nd Street in downtown Denton. They're having a great Halloween party.
I will walk in with my wrestling
karaoke,
trunks
right?
on.
No, karaoke is going to be Friday night, and then Saturday they're having a DJ and a party. Well, it's a Halloween party. Make sure you check it out. Go to Public House, Market Street Public House online, or no, is it? PublicHouseOnline.com, or look for Market Street Public House on Facebook and or Twitter, so you can get stuff that's going on there. If you're in the local area, it's a fantastic bar. Please go out and check out there. Brian is a real good friend of mine, and really just want people to come out to the party. There should be a lot of fun. So, what are you doing for Halloween?
Apparently nothing now.
Okay, so you were going to go to the pub?
Because I thought there was going to be karaoke.
Are you trick-or-treating?
I'm doing that, but I thought I was going to get to go sing like some Backstreet Boys or something afterwards.
I won't be
Well,
there.
I get
so.
stuck with the hyped up candy kid and the baby.
Right. Just give him a little,
Well,
little
you get to
whiskey.
go out on Sunday if I go out on Saturday.
Little
The
bit,
fuck
bro.
is the point of going out on Sunday when everything's happening Saturday?
Because if I win, if
Domestic falls aside. Russell, so you're going to the public house after your wrestling event?
I don't have a wrestling event. It's a test for fire department on
Oh,
the
okay.
Western Shore.
Gotcha.
Then I'm going to the pub, then to Dave's. Then I'm going to work probably sometime between
what he really
7
means
and
is
8
he's going to drive by the pub and then he's going to go sit.
No, I'm
by
going to
it.
hop out of the pub, go use the bathroom, then walk out and just ruin people's dinner.
Well, it sounds like the pub's the place to be. I don't know, maybe you should go up there.
Maybe, I don't know.
But,
And then I'm going to go to work and work from at least 8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday night till 9 a.m. Sunday morning and miss out on all the drunken oh, actually, no. It'll be 9 a.m., but it'll be 13 hours because it is,
You're in
they-
EMT, you'll
they-
catch
they
some
say
Halloween.
time.
No, it won't. It's Supermoon, Halloween, and the end of daylight savings time. So I feel bad for
going Uber.
I feel bad for that dude right there because he'll be riding the shit box on Halloween, and crazy shit happens on all 3 of them nights.
that'd be fun.
Well, but all 3 of them together, some stupid shit's gonna go on in this
All
county.
three.
Guaranteed. I can tell you that.
Supermoon, daylight savings, and
Halloween.
Halloween all in the
Suburban
same.
Storm all in the same night.
Well, I can tell you what Matt and I are going to be doing. We're going to be driving for Uber locally, so if you're planning on going out in Easton and or Denton, you can grab Uber.
Speaking of which,
Go to-
nigga, I got one free ride.
Right, well, it ain't free for me. I'm just paying you away. So make sure you check out get.uber.com to download the app. Don't drink and drive. It's the dumbest thing you can do, especially on a holiday like Halloween when the cops
I'll
are going to be on
request
force.
and kill.
Yeah, let's, before we get to the end of the
Technically, I got 2 free rides, so you 2 better watch the fuck out.
And the bad thing is I gotta accept every single one.
I know. No,
Now has to accept
I'm gonna
everyone.
be as far away from Denton as I can be.
Wait, so if you're out in Denton or in Easton or anywhere in Talbot County, really, Cambridge, Kent Island, anywhere around, don't drive. Get an Uber. Get.uber.com to get the app. Matt and I will both be out all weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I will even be out on Sunday. Are you going to go on Sunday? Sunday during the day for brunch. If you need to get out and about and you need to drink, take an Uber. Uber, everyone's private
Yes,
driver.
because we make jokes, but if you're doing this,
Don't drink and drive.
no.
So before we get out of here, You had something you want to talk about?
I don't
He doesn't
remember now because
remember
y'all
now.
cut me off. Oh
You
yeah.
said you wanted to feature this?
Yes, let's feature this. This is a beautiful piece of work right now
Robert.
for the live
And
streamers.
that's when he drops and breaks.
I'm not gonna.
I have been no good
Shut up.
trip.
Come on.
That is the Smock Tech Guardian E-Pipe 2. Goes from 15 to 6 watts. You can use pretty much like a Nautilus on there because it's got
Show him
minimum
all of it,
resistance.
Kenny. Turn it.
Take it
It's
apart.
got a resistance
I'm not-
limit
no.
of 1.2.
It's not mine. I'm not taking it apart.
Go ahead.
Anyway, it takes one 18350, and most of the time that's going to give you about 700, 800 capacity. And it's just stylish, real wood with a nice lacquer on it, no scratches, $70. I bought mine on Sweet Vapes. Took 2 days to ship, so it was awesome, and it was a good buy.
You
And-
need to try this one. Legit.
Yeah, but I got it for 2 reasons.
No.
Huh.
Go ahead.
Try not it. No.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's a
Fuck
cherry
y'all.
case.
It.
No, but good.
The flavor in it tastes delicious. Is what I was getting at.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I got it for 2 reasons. One, I need something fancy in my collection.
Right.
And 2, it's not as menacing as some vapes can be, because I can blow a cloud, where this one I can bring it out in public and be,
Right.
casual about it. But
People
like
probably
going,
notice difference.
yeah, that's true. But it's not as abrupt. It's still toned down. It's like a little mini freak instead of a total freak out. But yeah, like dress up, go to the BSO, and have this with you. Exactly.
Nice.
That's what I had in mind.
Yeah.
You
All right.
gonna
So
show
that's not available at your store though.
No, it is
Which
not.
is,
I bought it personally.
Right, Oasis Vapors in Denton. That's where you
Mhm.
can go on weekends generally.
Yep.
And catch Harry at Oasis Vapor in Denton on 6th Street. Make sure you do that. Where'd you plug that where you got it from?
Sweetvapes.com.
Sweetvapes.com. You can also
Exactly.
maybe check out Amazon. Maybe it's available on there. Click through the link on the website, dirtyshowunderground.com. Give us a little taste. Doesn't raise your price at all, but helps out the show so we can get new equipment and keep out the riffraff from the next show. So,
Because I don't remember if we said it at the beginning. Because Up in Smoke 2 isn't up yet.
right.
People that don't recognize the voice, we have Harry on from Up in Smoke 2. In another couple weeks, we'll do Up in Smoke 3, where we'll have Harry and Brandon on together.
Where there will not be a bunch of vaping at the same time because the last one made me sick.
Well, we didn't have the window open half the time, so
But yeah,
we'll,
look,
we'll fix that next time because it'll be colder. But
we did a vape cast a couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
and in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have another one coming up with Harry, giving us a little more of a technical look at the entire.
it'll be person in the industry
right.
/ hobbyist who is learning stuff as he goes, which should be interesting because I think they would both
would
might
be, yeah.
learn
Yeah.
stuff from each other.
All right. So, anything else?
Dirty Shore UG on Facebook and Twitter. YouTube.com/C/ Dirty Shore UG -OTA.
Got it. Anybody
Yes.
else want to plug their online stuff? You got nothing still?
Just Matthew made it. EJ.
And
Gotta get them crazy fucking people.
That was MADEJ because he sounded like he had shit in his mouth.
uberwithmatt.com or uberwithmatt@gmail.com.
Thanks, Chris.
We're still going to work on your webinar stuff. I'm going to get that shit set up. We're going to do that.
Hold on,
But otherwise,
because
And don't forget Russell the Love Muscle.
hold on,
I was coming to you.
because last time he was
Ew.
here and we were downstairs,
Mhm.
there was something you wanted had him say, but I don't remember.
That's right.
You
We'll do
have-
that. Yeah, we'll do that later. That's all right. We'll
You
do
wanna
that
do
for the
that?
next. No, we'll do it
next
time.
time. Okay.
So Russell the Love Muscle on Facebook. He's got an entertainer page. Make sure you check that out.
I'm not getting hit with a cherry money.
Thank God. So you can find me on at Robert N. Cheek on all your social networks. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for my political blog, my news website, and links to the books on Amazon. Got 2 up there, 2 more coming this fall. And
I'm
don't
legit
be
buying the
cheap like
cause.
Karina and buy the goddamn
called the
book. It's not
cause.
that expensive.
Is
What?
it the call or the cause?
It's Foe and the Movement Insurrection.
No, I'm talking about the one.
And the
you told-
calls will be coming up next spring.
I am buying that one because you told us
I told the story. And
a
it's gonna be
short
tough.
bit of the story.
Yeah.
Which
I
I'm
need
going
to
to end
read
up
that.
reading it first because I'll read faster than him.
That's fine.
Um.
So, you've been
Hold
listening
on.
to.
Oh, no,
Go ahead.
because fuck this. I bet you hasn't finished the book that I sent him home to read.
I haven't.
Yeah, see, that's
Still
only
stuck on my
600
notes.
pages.
But I got a ton of shit going on.
I'll read his book
And
before he
including-
finishes the book I sent him home.
Okay, that's beside the point. I said I would read it before you
You
because
would.
I read faster than you.
No, because I wouldn't
It's
let you
bedtime.
touch the book till I was done.
So you've been listening to the Dirty Shore Underground. Make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com for all the latest episodes. Dirty Shore UG on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you follow the live stream, youtube.com/C/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. Join us on the live stream next time. We usually record Sunday, Monday nights, and Wednesday or Thursday nights. Keep an eye out so you can join the conversation.
Because we did it earlier. Our next episode is going to be the next bonus episode.
That's right. So the bonus episode for the new episode of The Walking Dead,
So
season
next
6, episode 4.
Sunday or
will be
Monday
next
night,
Monday.
we can find out if Glenn's not dead.
We will find out. Hashtag
He's in the blimp.
#LensLikeThat. So, for this entire insane crew that we have going on in this train wreck of a
It's like
podcast,
it's getting bigger and bigger over here, though.
have a great week, everybody.
Good night.
Make shorter lengths.
I have to pee so bad. Oh my
You
god.
use the bathroom, man.
Christ. I can't remember the YouTube link because there's so much shit to it.
That's
Why was
because
Muppet
YouTube
Smoke
changed
not-
their shit.
I
So I
know.
was able to change the link, so it was...
You got C//
Well, before it was user, and it would have been KDiddy08, so now it's C... Dirty Shore UG-OTA.
So what?